This is the Between Brothers podcast where we give you real talk, authentic takes, and laughs on sports, pop culture, and life. I'm your host, the Duke of Bananas Lando, in the building with my brother, who we call the Chance of Charisma Zero, in the building. What's good with you, Zero? Catch us up.
Um, everything is good. Of course, work. Yeah, yeah, work is like work is work. Um, yeah, I had to do a home on Saturday, and it's one of those like it's. I get I get this question a lot from new customers, but it's like they always ask me, "What is the worst thing that you've ever had to deal with, or you ever had to see?" Or what was the worst thing you've seen? Or it's like, are you the worst house that we've seen? And it's like, one day I'm just gonna say yes, you are. Because it's like that question, like like that question gets so damn annoying. It's like,
Leave him in suspense. Just be like,
maybe.
I no, I ain't never seen nothing like this. I ain't never seen nothing like this. You just walk off.
They don't even sign.
They don't even know what. They don't even know what that means.
They say, hey, where you going?
Like, look, I've only seen two roaches. I've been here for 5 years. I've seen two roaches, and you said I ain't never seen nothing like this. And I'm thinking their house is all kinds of infested.
I know. It's like, yo. I was like, do I gotta? It was like, hey, if you feel like you need extra, I can send a lead here. Yeah, it's like it don't make no sort of sense because it's like, come on, yo. Like, do you really need to know, or are you trying to bait me into talking about somebody else's home? I was like, you know what? It ain't anybody else's home. Let's talk about yours. But but there was one on Saturday. They said there was a smell, and I went over there, and they were like, "Yo, we just hear this noise, and the smell come from the laundry room." And come to find out, a bird built a nest inside the dryer hose.
I don't even know how that's possible.
They the you know where where your dryer is and the air escaping from the home.
Yeah.
They didn't have a screen over it,
Oh my God.
so bird just went.
Like the things come with them built in now. You can't even get one without some
Yeah, so
unbelievable.
and they had four that didn't have a screen around it. So all I'm hearing is I'm hearing the bird. I'm like, yo, what in the world is that noise? And then I look, there's feathers, there's sticks, and there's a hole look like it's slit into the hose. And since that's not what I do, I didn't. I was like, yo, somebody be out here to take care of this. Yeah, because it was like so every time they ran the dryer, they heard the noise and it was just a funky smell. And the smell was just because the bird was getting hot. It was like, yo, y'all rotisserie. It was like this rotisserie bird inside this thing.
Was it still alive?
Yeah, it was still alive. They what was it?
Dang.
My manager went out there on Monday.
Bernie took a bath.
The manager went out there on Monday. He removed the bird and put a new hose in and then sealed up not only just that dryer vent, but all the others because all they had five and only one of them was covered correctly. The rest of them was just free game.
Mm.
But yeah, other than that, everything else is pretty smooth.
Oh. Yeah, so we didn't do the podcast last week because I had a pretty bad situation, which I don't want to get into it this week, but I'll eventually tell the story when I'm good and ready. Um, but uh, but since then, um, I ain't gonna act like it's necessarily been a great week. Zero, as everybody knows, you know, my actual blood brother, and then my who we call Big Bro was definitely there for me throughout the week. Um, you know, and I call myself the Duke of Debonaires, right? And I've told the story on how the whole calling myself debonair thing came out. But the funny thing is the when I was heavy talking about how debonair I am. I was always saying like, you know, the things I do with debonair, the thing everybody else does is regular. So it might have been the day after, or maybe 2 days after, and I go to Charlie's to get a sandwich or to get a meal. Matter of fact, it was 2 days after. Go to Charlie's to get a meal, and I said, um, and I ordered a regular chicken teriyaki with a regular truck fry. Zero says, "Why are you ordering that?" So I'm confused. I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Man, you supposed to be a debonair brother. You ain't supposed to order nothing regular."
This
and
is
I,
a regular food, regular meal for regular niggas.
you know what I'm saying? And I'm sharing this on the podcast because of what I had experienced, what the emotions that was going through me, the rage that was going through me, the hostility that was going through me because of the incident, to where, like I had thoughts of, seriously injuring somebody and maybe even worse. And when he told me that, when Zero told me that, it put the biggest smile on my face. And it made me know three things that I think I had forgotten. The first thing is that God loves me. The second thing is I have the greatest brother of all time. The third thing is I'm a debonair brother. And so, but within that, it made me know that at some point I lost control of everything that got me to the place that I had been. And I've been kind of backpedaling ever since. Like, pretty much like like walking on eggshells to protect the feelings of others and things of that nature. And so, like, and not saying you shouldn't protect feelings, things of that nature, but like ultimately at the end of the day, like I am everything I said I was. So act like it. So so that was a great moment for myself. Um, so I want to start this podcast off by saying, I got the best brother of all time. But that same day, I had a bone to pick with him because while after I get my lunch, this man gets somebody to hand him lunch money. Now I don't know how much money it was. Didn't ask. I don't care. The fact that I paid for lunch and
Mm.
he skates off with cold hard cash And I
I,
said I couldn't wait to talk bad about him on the pod. So here we are talking bad about him on the pod.
I look. It was fitting. It was fitting. Yeah, it was. Um, and remember, it was Coke too. It gave me a.
And he got coke and cash like a drug dealer. He got cash and coke like he moving work. Out
Yeah.
here thinking he Frank Lucas.
Yeah, that was.
Even though he moved heroin, it was coke.
Oh my goodness. That yeah, you know when I had said what I had said afterwards, I remembered the other two. Yeah, it was that couple. Like this is the third time I've gone there, and it's the third time they've given me like envelope. But it's funny because when it comes to like a tip or anything, even though they always give me the least, they actually increased it this time by $5. The last time it was 10.
Hey,
It was 10
hey,
and no drink.
hey, he leveling up out here.
Yeah, it was like yeah, it was it's that couple that lived by our old high school. Is another couple that live North Beach, and a groundskeeper that lives at a senior apartment building. It's like, yeah, I go in, do my thing. He's like, hey man, thanks a lot. Here you go. so so it's like, but it's so funny because they're not even the ones I look forward to the most. It's like, yeah, they're not even the ones I look forward to the most because, and I think, yeah, and out of the three of them, one of them have the lift. Remember when we talked about a lift? He's like they ain't got no
Oh,
elevator. They got
so y'all, I remember going into an open house. It was like one of those things. It's like, yo, like visualize where you want to be, this and the other. So one of the things I've always wanted was an elevator in my home. So I see this house, it has an open house, and they say, got an elevator.
mm,
I pull up to the house, it's an older house. It got one of them, it got one of them Bart Simpson Home Alone type elevators that you just, it's like, it's not even like, I mean, do people fit in it? Yes. But it's like it felt like one of them joints you got pulled. It was actually like it had like the regular old school gate. That
mm.
joint looked like the 1923 elevators. I'm like, but
Yeah.
the open house joint said, "Oh, it got an elevator," like, and we couldn't even use it because they weren't even sure it was working.
Oh,
Like, why'd you even put that on the open house? Like it was. So, anyways,
yo,
yeah,
it should have said elevator part sold separately.
bruh.
Yeah. It's so funny because when the first time I went into a home and I went inside of one of those, it reminded me of I think it was It Man 3 when he fought the Muay Thai guy. And he stepped off the elevator so his wife wouldn't get hurt, and he he slid the thing and closed the door.
That's exactly the elevator that I went. That they was like, "Oh yeah, this house got an elevator." I mean, don't miss me in that bum ass elevator,
It was like, and it looked like it's just another room until you actually open the door.
bruh,
It's like, hey, is this a coat closet? No.
bruh. I was so mad.
I said, no, it's next to the coat closet. And they all gotta have a telephone in it just in case it you get stuck on the inside, you actually have somebody. It's you actually be able to contact the outside world and let somebody know that there's something wrong.
Yo, for real though. I can't stand. I was so mad. I was so mad about the elevator.
But you
But
still say
anyways,
elevator though.
yeah,
You, you mad about the lift?
yeah. I'm like, I need a real elevator in that
How the hell
joint.
you got a lift that don't lift?
Yeah, it was just like, I don't know, man. I was so annoyed. Because like it was on the open house as like a selling point. Because it was like a $1.2 million house, rickety ass house.
Mm.
I was so annoyed. That whole experience was horrible. I was like, I'll never do this again.
Speaking of which, did you ever look at the one that the one that I showed you the address for?
I thought we looked it up together.
Yeah, the
Or am I tripping?
South Bay Shore Drive one, where the fourth bedroom is bigger than the master.
I thought we looked at it together. I don't, I don't really remember it, so probably not.
Yeah, it was like that one was so that look one looks so weird because well they don't call it master bedroom anymore. It's primary bedroom.
Yeah, because apparently when you say massive bedroom, it make niggas think of slaves. White people be racist for no reason.
Yo, they so,
I
yeah,
ain't,
it was
I ain't never heard massive bedroom thought of slavery.
yeah, it was so
And a
weird.
realtor told me that. A realtor was like, "Yeah, that's why we got to start calling it master bedroom." I'm
Yeah,
like, "Oh, I'm like, oh, well, you said it, so I'm gonna tell everybody you over here saying
yeah,
I'm a slave."
it was so weird because I actually looked at the because it's either you got to pay $4,250 in rent or pay 1.9 million to get it. And it was like, yeah, that's what they listed at. And when I looked, it's like the primary bedroom has a bathroom, has its own bathroom and a walk-in closet, but it is smaller than the bedroom on the far side of the house that basically looks like the size of a damn dance studio. It was like,
Mm.
it was like, yeah, when I walked in, it was like you had to walk down like 2 steps in order for you to get in. It was like, what in the world is yeah, I looked inside. I was like, shouldn't this be this should be the master bedroom. It's like how the biggest bedroom don't have the bathroom in it.
Unless it was an addition.
Nah, it wasn't an addition.
No, what I mean by that is like it was something else, and then they made it into a bedroom.
Yeah, that might be the case. Well, that was I know they were selling it as a I think it's a 4 bed, three
Yeah,
bath.
like our house, the upstairs used to be a large attic, and they made it into two
You
bedrooms.
know, that's
Which are all the houses over here. That's what
not
they've done.
you're right, because what's it called? I treated a home before where it was a duplex and they bought both duplexes and they just knocked the
And out the
wall down and
doors,
made it into
yeah.
one whole house. He was like, "This is why we have 7 bedrooms in here, and the 7 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms because we bought the whole thing and we just knocked one wall down and redid the entire thing."
Mm.
But it's like,
I
how's
wonder
only
how
two of
that
y'all that
worked.
live here? Nobody visits, and y'all got 7 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms.
Well, I mean, how long ago did they buy it? Because it could have been at a time where they needed all that. And now it's just like we got the
Yeah,
house.
I never asked. I was just like, yo, this is doing the inside is taking too damn long. He was like,
Sure.
this is, but it was like, but they only wanted me to do the bathrooms. It was like, it's like, it's taking a while because, so basically I got 2 kitchens, or they could have had 2 kitchens. They probably turned one of the kitchens into a bedroom, but it was like, this is why we have all these bathrooms because it used to be a duplex and we just knocked the wall down. But yeah, you could be absolutely right. It could have just been something completely different and they just turned it into a whole bedroom. But that shit was huge. Like huge.
Yeah.
It was like I'm not just like I wouldn't that'll probably be the guest bedroom. It's like the guest bedroom is bigger than the primary bedroom. It's crazy.
Um, so there's a couple of topics we missed last week that I want to visit. Um, the first thing is, the first round is over. The second round is over for the Knicks. Shout to the Brooms. As a great American philosopher, Jalen Rose used to say, Wallace, Wallace, Wallace. Apparently, that's a Filipino brand broom, or it might be the way you say broom in Filipino. I don't know, but that's what he used to say when people used to get swept. So yeah, we put the brooms out on the 76ers. I watched games one, two, full games, one, two, and I forgot the game was on today, so I watched the second half of game four. I was at work for game three. So I was able to watch most of the games. And yeah, it was good. It was a good feeling. Philly didn't match up well with us, so I wasn't tripping over that. Detroit is the only team I feared this entire playoffs. But anyways, back to round one, where Jokic goes down 3-1 to a Timberwolves team that was not at full strength. And for some reason, Jokic gets the pass. And nobody's calling out Jokic inability to will his team to wins. Yet, when it comes to I, when it comes to LeBron, LeBron is a 40-something-year-old basketball player. And people are making fun of him for not being able to will the Lakers to championships at his advanced age, even though he's won four. But Jokic, who's in his prime, who Stan Van Gundy said he might be the greatest player of all time. A dude that can't guard a bed of roses is somehow the greatest player of all time. Yet he's not getting it done in the playoffs. He does have a championship, and he does deserve the credit for winning said championship. But he hasn't done anything since. He's put up great numbers, but it's not leading to anything. So, what reason is he not getting the criticism that every single superstar gets when they're not getting the job done? Because it's not like Giannis where he's getting injured. It's not like LeBron where he's older. We know what it is. It's always, it's always racism. Same reason why Luka has gotten passes, Jokic is getting passes, and for some reason, we have created a narrative to not criticize Jokic for not performing, but to criticize SGA for getting to the free throw line.
Look, they hate it when you're winning. It's like people loved OKC when they were winning until they started winning too much. It's like this is going to be the same thing with OKC because they're going to, it's like, the refs are in their back pocket this time, the third. And then we saw game three and look what happened. But that's neither here nor there. Um, Jokic, I don't know what it is about Jokic. It's like I guess it's this when he won the championship. And he was like, I just want to go home and tend to my horses. Like he really didn't care. Like everything else but basketball was more important. And it was, oh my goodness, he's such a lovable guy. And it feels like the people are still stuck on that.
And the funny thing is, if it was any American player saying that,
Hmm.
they definitely would have been like, "Oh, he don't care about the game."
You remember? I know it's a different sport, but remember when Trevor Lawrence had came out and he said that he that football wasn't the most important thing, and he got criticized for that.
Yeah, and and it's just like, oh, like this whole like ho hum kind of thing that he gets pass after pass after pass for. Just like, for example, like against the Timberwolves, where rightfully so, Anthony Edwards gets called for travel,
Hmm.
and he like turns around and Jokic just jumps on top of him to grab the basketball. And it's like, what are you doing that for? When when what's his name? I forget which Morris twin had gave him a hard foul.
Hmm.
And then he cheap shots the guy and they all praise him for it. And they praise his brothers for having his back like they on the court. And then during the playoffs or I think it was the next game, maybe the game after, like he tries to get up in Jaden McDaniel's face and he starts laughing at him because it's just like, bro, you not no like you don't intimidate nobody. You hell of a basketball player. You don't intimidate nobody. You're muted.
Yeah, and that was the hardest defense he played all game.
Exactly. It's just like the thing that I hate about Jokic. One, he has way too many MVPs. This always felt like great white hype. Always. Why do I say that? Like I said, realistically, maybe he should have to. But the one I always found the most egregious was the one that he won when he was a 60, which I think that year I felt like Giannis should have won it. And it was like everybody's like, oh, if you take him off the team, which I think that's the worst argument for MVP. If you take him off the team, they wouldn't have done this. I used to co-sign that argument. The reason why I stopped is because you don't win MVP, or nor do you get MVP votes if you don't play games. So we can't speculate if you take the player off how well they perform. Now, there's been other players who've been on so-called lower seed teams that have won MVP. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was one. Russell Westbrook, I think, is the other. I can't from what memory is how memory serves. Russell Westbrook lost Durant, averaged a triple double, broke the triple double record. I think led the league in scoring. Like that was an MVP season. Jokic. Now one can say Jokic, he's averaged a triple double the last 2 years and he hasn't won MVP. Nor should he have. And the reason, well, we don't know. The MVP hasn't come out for this season yet, but he shouldn't win it this year either. The reason why Russell Westbrook won it is because of the story around it. A triple double never guaranteed you an MVP. Why do I know that? Because Russell Westbrook did it 5 times. Oscar Robertson did it. Jokic has done it twice. So there's been a player who's averaged a triple double 8 times in NBA history, and only one MVP came out of it. Stop talking to me about how great Jokic is. He's a fantastic player, but y'all sitting there talking about he's a top 5 center of all time. Stop it. He's a top. He's a top. He's the greatest player ever. Stop it. This dude is not getting the job done in the playoffs. Y'all keep talking about how bad his team was around him. Okay, I guarantee you this, and not saying anything against, not rooting for LeBron, but the years that LeBron went to the finals after Kyrie left, you would take Jokic's supporting staff over that supporting staff. At least LeBron was getting to the finals. These dudes getting put out of the first round by role players. So cut it out. Cut it out. That should be unacceptable. I don't care how bad the team is. There wasn't a single player on the Minnesota Timberwolves after Anthony Edwards went down. There wasn't a single player on the Minnesota Timberwolves that was as good as Jamal Murray or Nikola Jokic. There's absolutely no reason why they lost that series. So we got to stop giving that dude a pass. If y'all going to put him on the greatest player of all time or the greatest center of all time, then put him there. And then I heard this one idiot told me that he's just the Wilt Chamberlain of this era. Don't you ever disrespect Wilt Chamberlain like that. You know who Wilt Chamberlain was losing to, why he didn't win very many finals? Because he was losing to the greatest team ever assembled. The Minnesota Timberwolves ain't that. The Oklahoma City Thunder ain't that. The Warriors, when he lost to the Warriors, nobody expected the Warriors to win that season. I'm the only person who expected them to make it to the finals who do sports commentary. No, I think Stephen A said it as well. So no, this dude was losing to the Celtics. And then one year he lost to the Nationals in the first round. I think the year he averaged 50. His second year in the league. Don't you ever insult Will Chamberlain like that. Y'all need to pick up a book every once in a while and read something. Bum ass. I shouldn't say he's a bum. He's not a bum. But bum ass Nikola Jokic. Can't he and all those antics he did, he's very close to Kevin Durant level hate for me. Because I hate Kevin Durant more than any other NBA player. He's that close to Kevin Durant for me. F Jokic. He ain't the greatest. He is an all-time great. He's not the greatest center of all time. He's not a top five greatest center of all time. He's not getting the job done, and he needs to get the job done. Because guess what? Who has Giannis had? Y'all criticize Giannis. Who has Giannis had as good as Jamal Murray? Cut it out. But anyways, um, did you want to do the Clay Thompson thing?
No,
Okay.
I'm so sick and tired of hearing about that.
Okay. All right. Austin Rivers, Draymond Green. Austin Rivers has had a great week. Draymond Green has not had as such. Draymond talked bad about Steve Kerr, said that he felt like Steve Kerr has hindered his career because he hasn't had an offensive play call for him since 2016. Um, then Austin Rivers mentioned something about it.
He
Draymond
was on
Green
the
fires
damn pen.
back at him, said, "Hey, we averaged the same amount of points in high school." Um, and then Austin Rivers goes in on him. I don't think Draymond ever responded back to Austin Rivers' rant. But then he goes on Inside the NBA, Draymond Green embarrasses himself on national TV by trying to talk trash about Charles Barkley at the end of his career. And Austin Rivers goes on the To the Baja podcast and straight ethers Hong, I think his name is.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start with Draymond Green. Draymond Green has been essentially the point guard for the Golden State Warriors. There was a season where there was no Clay, no Steph, no KD. To say that Steve Kerr hindered your career, I disagree with you because Steve Kerr took an all-star out of the starting lineup and put you into the starting lineup. To make the team better. And you were a second round pick. That usually don't happen. So to say that he started your career, so to say that he ended your career is an absolute falsehood. To say that he hasn't called an offensive play, and then he said that Steve Kerr never liked it. He literally allowed you to punch someone in the face and sent the guy who got punched in the face away. It should have been you who got shipped away. So to say that he don't like you, if he didn't like you, you definitely would have been gone. I don't think I've heard anybody say that about that situation.
He was like, oh yeah, oh yeah. If he really didn't like you, you gave him a reason to get rid of
You
your ass.
gave him a not you. Kevin Durant's gone because of you.
That was more of a reason.
We lost our best scorer. We lost our best scorer, scorer after Steph because of you. And what I mean by best scorer, he can create his own shots. Klay Thompson isn't that kind of player. So we lost two guys who can create their own shot because of you. Why would I keep you around? Why should I keep you around? Now, defensively, he's excellent. You're muted.
Ain't Draymond in the contract year?
Yeah, he is.
Hmm.
So and then he mentioned like Steve Kerr cried when he heard him say that because he couldn't believe that he said that to him. And this is why I don't like current NBA players having podcasts. There ain't no reason why you should be sharing that to the masses. And but Steve Kerr just got a 2-year extension today. But there's no reason why you should be sharing these things. But Draymond, you started those were two things that were false. Now here's the thing: when there was no Steph and no Clay, all right, but could we say it was poor coaching that season and a half that it was Draymond pretty much being the best player on the team, that he wasn't getting offensive plays called for him, that's probably bad coaching. Probably bad coaching. Or you're so bad at scoring the basketball, it's bad coaching that he draws up a play for you. I don't know which one is which. Those guys who play in those locker rooms will know way better than me. But I say that to say I don't know why you think that you're so much greater than everybody else. I remember pointing this out when they put out the Bleacher Report top 100 list. He's the only player on the list averaging single digit points. Your career average of points is in the single digits. There is nobody else on that. Dennis Rodman, who wasn't known to be a scorer, averaged 10 points a game. And that's the guy they compare him to for the most part. Was an offensive threat, defensive wizard. You average less points than a guy who is known to shoot a free throw and just walk off before the ball hit the rim. They had that animation in NBA Jam 99.
Just reminded me. Somebody said who would win in a one-on-one, Draymond Green or Dennis Rodman. Somebody said I've never seen Dennis Rodman dribble the ball more than 4 times. He was like, "Yo, you gonna grab a rebound and pass it to nobody."
Nah, don't play with Dennis Rodman. He averaged like if you watch The Last Dance, he averaged 28 in college. Don't play with Dennis
I
Rodman
know,
now.
I know.
Draymond Green wasn't averaging 28 in college. I mean, Dennis Rodman went to a small school though, so. But yeah, so it's just like to say those things doesn't make sense. And that's what Austin Rivers was alluding to. But then you start talking about Austin Rivers and saying, like, oh, we had the same high school career or whatever. You were, okay, y'all had the same high school career. You're older than him. Now you're still in the league, which is great for you, but it's because Steve Kerr likes you at least a little bit while you're still in the league. So I don't understand this like narrative that he's trying to create. Just even like the whole thing when him and Kevin Durant had to sit down, and then it was like, oh, Kevin Durant was like, oh, I didn't leave because of Draymond. I left because the front office interfered with it. You're full of crap, and y'all literally spinning this thing like that's why I hate that dude. One of the reasons I hate him for many reasons that have nothing to do with that. Far before that ever happened, but like y'all are making things up. Y'all aren't being genuine. Y'all not being authentic. Saying Steve Kerr doesn't like you is stupid. Now, again, I'm not in that locker room. Maybe him and Steve Kerr have spats at each other. But to say that after you chase two scorers away, that somebody don't like you and you still on the team and you still in the league doesn't make
Yeah,
sense to me.
anybody else would have been shipped off.
Because you can get there's a bunch of guys who can guard in the league. So you can get but there's not too many people that have Draymond Green's skill set.
Hmm.
But it's just like, bruh, you should have been suspended for many, many games.
It's just like, and with Austin Rivers, what he was saying, the fact that he talks like he's so much better than everybody else. It's like you're not. You need a whole reality check at this point. And it seemed like Austin Rivers basically gave it to him. It's like you need a whole reality check. You don't need to be sitting here doing talking like you went to a Hall of Famer Charles Barkley and really tried to make it seem as if like you were so much you were so much better than him. So I don't want to look like you in your Rockets years. It was like, I guess you didn't watch basketball then. It was like it was like what was it? I think Charles Barkley's debut as a Houston Rocket, he had 33 rebounds. That's the guy you don't want to 33 rebounds. Like that's he was averaging 16, I think it was 16 and 12. Well, they showed 2 years when I saw the graphic. It was like in two of the years he was with the Rockets. I think his first 2 years with the Rockets, he was averaging 16 and 12. And I was better than Draymond's best year. It's like, why do you feel the need to think that? Because it was like, when I think somebody mentioned when Shaq brings up his rings, it was like, I got four. He was like, I got four rings and you don't have any. It's like it's just to poke fun at him, but Shaq knows what a great player um Barkley is. He just says
Yeah.
it to poke fun at him. It was like you're really like you're not even trying to poke fun. You're really trying to do what everybody else does is diminish Charles Barkley. But it's like,
So he had mentioned after the fact, like that he said it, and he was like Kenny Smith said that he didn't catch the punchline or whatever because nobody like reacted to what he said. So I can
mm,
see where that could be true, but my thing was you didn't. Maybe you just don't like. How can I put this? Maybe you just don't deliver jokes well.
mm,
'Cause has Draymond Green said funny things? Yes. Has he said things like where you think he's a funny person? I don't think so. Like
yeah, like remember
like
the back and forth him and Barkley had. He was like, "How much was that suit?" And he was like, "Is how much you pay for that suit? Like
it was
maybe a
like
thousand." He said,
it
"It
was a
looks like it."
yeah, and then like it didn't really get much reaction.
But then Barkley said, "You know who was asking about you the other day? Who? Nobody."
And then everybody busted out laughing. And it was just like, but and so look, you saw how he was in that moment, how he was
Mm,
laughing, how his energy was high, and you saw his demeanor when he delivered that line the other day. You
yeah.
didn't say that like it was a joke.
Now you said it as an insult.
Yeah, and then when it didn't land, now you like, and again, he was like, oh, like people on Twitter, his mom hit him up. People on Twitter was like, oh, you and him and Chuck had beef or whatever. Which I don't think anybody really. I do believe that nobody really caught like what Draymond was saying.
Mm,
Um, but it wasn't funny
yeah.
regardless.
Regardless, it wasn't funny.
Because when you say, and then also like I said, the way his demeanor was, it didn't seem like he was saying it like a joke. So it's just like again, I just need people to understand that Draymond Green's career average is 8.7 points per game. You cannot be talking to people like that.
It's like the rings are gonna take you but so far. It's like Shaq when Shaq says something about
I was wrong about Dennis Rodman. He averaged 7.3 points per game. It was my I think my thing was he was the only person who didn't average double digits in anything. That's
mm,
what it was. So it's just like,
yeah, because Rodman averages like what 13 rebounds in his career.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's like yeah, because it feels like Draymond like we feel like Draymond's trying to like he talks like you know he's so much better than everybody else, and I think it has everything to do with the rings. But I remember when Clay, I forgot what podcast Clay Thompson was on, and he said he was when Devin Booker was he's like Devin Booker was busting his ass, and then he was talking trash, and then he counted off how many rings he had. He was like, "Yo, that was the corniest thing I ever did because why does that matter?" And he's like, "It was like, yeah, we all know I have four rings. At the end of the day, Devin Booker was busting my ass. He was like that was it was like that it was like that wasn't the he felt like that wasn't the flex that was needed at that point in
it
time."
wasn't. It wasn't. And like similar to when KD had said to Devin Devin Booker. Dylan Brooks, your best year, your best year ain't better than my worst year when they had their little back and forth during this year. And then
Mm-hmm.
everybody's like, oh, that was crazy trash talk. And I'm like, at that point of the game, Dylan Brooks was giving him the business.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you like, I don't care about you. You came into the league as an heir to the throne. They gave, you know what I'm saying? Like Dylan Brooks didn't come into the league as a guy who they were going to get hand the keys over to and was a natural scorer and things of that nature. I would hope with your skill set you would average more points than Dylan Brooks has.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't no flex. You're a number 2 overall pick. What are we talking about?
Yeah,
That ain't
behind
no
a guy who
flex.
has one leg that's longer than the other.
So it's just like, bro, like what are we like y'all talking about career numbers. Nobody cares about career numbers. We talking about what happens in the game. That's
What's happened?
when trash talk is happening, it's what's happening within this square, this rectangle
These
that's
94 feet.
94 these 94 feet. We're not talking about career numbers or none of that. We're talking about right now. So
And
stop
right now
bringing up
I'm
your
busting
career
your ass.
accolades. Stop bringing up your career accolades or whatever.
So Minnesota beat San Antonio 114 to 109.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't have, what I'm saying, Wemby didn't want to be ludicrous and do thinking that he owned Bach.
No, what's it called? But
You hear
Austin,
Tony Jaa got like terminal cancer?
I ain't know.
Yeah, he about or I don't know if it's terminal, but I think it's like late stage cancer.
Uh, Um, well, Austin Rivers is like when he went on to the Baja and schooled old boy. It was like kept moving the goalpost. He's like kept moving the goalpost, kept on saying that dude was like he was lucky this and he was lucky that, and he had to school him on the like the TV money went up and everybody was getting paid. He was like, he had to school him on everything, but this dude was just like it was like he was just hell bent on trying to be right about something.
Yeah.
And it was like it keeps on backfiring. It was like when he stopped telling the jokes and then started hitting you with those hard hitting facts.
Talk about sex. I'm like, bro, what?
Yo,
You acting like a
it really
girl.
looked like that dude. It really looked like that dude's skin went pale as a motherfucker.
That dude was
When
pissed. His lips was quivering.
Not, but his lips weren't quivering because of the facts, though. His lips were quivering because his people, because while Austin Rivers is saying whatever, his folks are laughing at him.
Bro hit him with I'm talking to the Spider-Man best friend.
And he was like, okay. He's like, I'll take that on Spider Man. But let's talk about the facts. It
And,
was like,
and and when he was getting and he was like, oh, I was just saying like we, you got lucky too. And it's just like, bro, like first of all, you shouldn't be that emotional over this.
at all.
And it was like, oh, he got emotional because he's a Warriors fan. Like, bro, like you talking about like, oh, you was doing this, you was doing that. Oh, look at your numbers. And it's just like, bruh. Then he sits there and he's like, oh, you got yanked for Roger Mason, who was out pretty much out of the league right after that. I'm like, bro, you literally going in on a 19-year-old rookie. Are you stupid? And he got pulled after 10 games. If that's not evidence that the coach don't like you, I don't know what is. Because what top 10 pick gets benched after 10 games? You're not letting him figure things out. Now again, he got picked with Anthony Davis. So and that combo, I don't think would ever work because Austin Rivers was a one-on-one guy. So to pair him with Anthony Davis and think he about to be second fiddle to Anthony Davis just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I'm like Austin Rivers, and it's just like, all right, you talking about his contract, you act like Austin Rivers wasn't a solid player. Yeah, he was the number one player in high school. There's a bunch of number one players in high school that don't become elite NBA pros. But he was a solid player. He played for a long time. He was a really good defensive player who could score the basketball a little bit. That's
Mm-hmm.
what most like y'all gotta stop acting like everybody's gonna be a superstar. 450 jobs in the NBA. Maybe 10 of them are gonna be superstars. Another 10 is gonna be solid, really good star players, and then the rest of the league are role players. You get in when you fit in.
But somebody who, but it's just one. It's just nowadays where folks just got to watch basketball and not study anything, and they just go on basketball reference and start looking up advanced metrics, and they think that they're expert at what it is that they're reading, just regurgitating everything. Heaps
100%.
and this dude showed that he's somebody that would just look at the numbers and then make his assessment right then and there and then feel like he's right because he sounds good. It sounds good when he's saying it, but it hits a little different when somebody who has actually lived it actually gets on the microphone, gets in front of you and actually schools you on what it is, on what it's like, because he was like, you've never been in that. He's like, you've never been on those phone calls or in those rooms to be even talking about what I deserved and what I didn't deserve, what they negotiated and what they didn't negotiate. You're not in those rooms. Why do you feel like because you read something that automatically that's what it was? They just handed me a contract and said, and I just said, all right, cool.
I'm just trying to find out why we mad at Austin Rivers getting $40 million, but we weren't mad that Otto Porter got 100. See, Otto Porter. One day, Otto Porter's gonna cook me like Austin Rivers did.
And he's like, "Oh, you
That's
sitting here trying to tell me I didn't deserve $100 million? Were you in those rooms?"
Nah, I wasn't. I just watched you play basketball.
Yeah, I didn't go on basketball reference and look at your numbers. I
Yeah,
saw what you did.
I saw you on Shaq and the Fool, dog.
It's like your controller died and somehow
Now he was like, well, to me I was just like, with his skill set specifically, where he wasn't like an elite defensive player. I think he was a decent defensive player, even though that Shaq and the Fool highlight did make him do that. But it was like he was, like the beginning of that 3-and-D stage. It's
mm,
just like, why would you pay that much money to a clear role player? That
yeah.
was my thing. And at a time where I thought, where maybe because I was still living in the past, only superstars got $100 million.
Mm, because
So
that's what it was. It
yeah,
was
so like if Otto Porter were to say that to me, I'd just be like, no, like I couldn't understand it because you weren't a superstar player and you got $25 million a year. Hey, did the cap explode? Yeah, but I'm like, they could. Why didn't they pay you 80? Did you have to pay them a full 100? That don't make sense to me.
I know
But like,
it don't make
I
sense.
probably would have paid attention if you got 75, 80. But when I saw 8 figures on that Mickey figure, nah, dog. Nah, it can't be. Ain't no way. But Austin Rivers raised a bunch of valid points about not only Draymond's career, but his own career.
because he don't carry himself as if he was ever the guy.
Exactly. And that's the thing where it's like the humility factor, like you mentioned, where Draymond, because he got rings, he thinks he's better than players. And it's just like, no, there's a difference between being Steph Curry winning 4 rings and you being Draymond Green winning 4 rings. Because Steph Curry was the one who was winning MVPs, not Draymond. So they looking at Steph Curry to carry the team. Matter of fact, there's the knock on Steph Curry is that he has 4 rings and 1 Finals MVP.
Mm-hmm. Because it's Iguodala.
Iguodala and Kevin Durant's second Finals MVP should have went to Steph,
Mm-hmm.
but he didn't get it for whatever reason. I guess they like, look, this dude over here making miracle shots. He's so blessed as it is. We got to do something. Because I think he was also the first unanimous MVP as well. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
like you got blessed so much. We got to do something to knock you off. I don't know what that was about, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because he slowed down LeBron James. LeBron James averaged like 38, but for some reason y'all thought that was slowing him down enough to give the guy who was guarding him MVP. Don't make no sense to me.
It
But
really don't. It really don't. Even Iguodala don't believe he deserved that shit.
I would have been okay with LeBron winning MVP that year if you didn't want to give it to a Warrior
Mm-hmm.
because he performed so well in those finals. So it's just like
Especially not having his two top running mates because
exactly.
he lost I think he lost Kyrie in what game 1 and he lost Kevin Love in the first round.
First round, yeah, against the Celtics.
Like, my man tried to put him in a crippler crossface.
You know, they were saying like that happens pretty often when you're chasing rebounds down. It was just a freak, excuse me, situation.
Oh damn! I thought you. I thought you could say that's a normal occurrence with Kelly Olynyk. He tried to throw you in that crippler. Yo, he tried to hit him with that. He tried to put him in the rings of Saturn.
Rings and Saturn, boy. Whose move was that? Was that Scott Steiner's move?
No, that was Perry Saturn's.
Perry Saturn. Perry Saturn. Oh man, you know they
No,
buff,
Scott Steiner was a Steiner
buff,
recliner.
buff, blonde hair white guys. You know what I'm saying? They just all look the same to me.
Wait, no,
No, no, no.
Perry,
Was Perry Saturn was bald?
yeah, he was bald.
Yeah, clearly I don't know what I'm talking about with wrestling. Clearly I don't. Now looks
Buff.
Perry sat about to be Goldberg here in a second. I keep talking. That nigga about to be Kane here in a second.
Yo, yo, it's funny. I was just watching Kane choke slam highlights. I was like, yo, that dude got the greatest choke slam of all time. Like he choke slam you like he was really trying to put your ass through the ring. He won't try. He's like he lift you up with two, hold you up there for like. But you called a bald man blonde, and when he grows his hair out, it's black.
Like I said, man, I'm all look. It's just like he about to be the Rock here. He about to not even be white no more.
Yeah, Perry Satter says, "Know your damn role."
And shut your mouth. So I'm gonna shut my mouth on this wrestling stuff and go back to Austin Rivers. So, but yeah, so to kind of like close this up, shout out to Austin Rivers, man, for cooking niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm waiting for the day um that like I love the fact that these NBA players would be willing to go on a podcast and check niggas.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because you sitting there trying to diminish his career, saying how he was lucky, pretty much saying like his daddy saved him, and that wasn't the case. like he said, he didn't get into the NBA because of his father. Doc wasn't coaching. This wasn't a Bronny James situation. He
Hmm.
got into the NBA because he was an elite college basketball player and an elite high school basketball player. So he got and did maybe his father maybe his father, but and the speculation was he got the contract because of his dad, but he said that he had two other teams offer him around the same money. So
But he just wanted to play for his dad.
yeah. So we don't know what offers these other players, how many offers these guys are getting. That's why they have agents.
Hmm. The agents take care of the money stuff. All I do is like,
I just show up.
yeah, I can either agree to the deal or disagree, and you can negotiate with somebody else.
Because like even Jeff Teague, somebody who, saying Jeff Teague um was probably like the caliber of player as an NBA player. Maybe not at his peak, but for the most of his career, if I were to look at his numbers would probably be similar to Austin Rivers. And it's just like, okay, like Jeff Teague was talking about multiple teams offering him deals when he was being a free agent and things of that nature. So it's just like, yeah, apparently that happens. Or you're not in the league. You know
And
what I'm
he said,
saying?
this dude really said that he was going to go to China. He was like,
That joke
no,
was so funny.
no, that's you.
He shut down his whole thought. It was like, oh, no, that's you. You that type. And he's like, no, I'm not good enough. I'm not. And he was just like doing all the. I'm like, this dude acting like a female, yo. I'm like,
But
yo,
my thing is this,
he was one neck roll away from being called gay from the whole internet.
yo, hold up. But my question is this. What made him so mad that he felt like he needed to go at Austin Rivers?
Not, you know what? You know what? I know exactly. I know exactly what it was. When he said that pudgy dude in the middle, instant heat, instant heat. I be instantly heated too. Oh, I'm not. I haven't said a word yet, and you call me names.
Wait, so he wasn't, so he didn't have that type of
bro,
energy before.
bro. No, he didn't say anything. When I watched the whole thing, he was talking to the other guys, mostly Raven Felton, and
Mm.
then he was like, "And we're gonna get to the pudgy dude in the middle here in a second." Oh man, I'm like, yeah, bro. If that don't motivate you to get active with your diet and exercise and sleep,
Diet, exercise, and sleep.
bro, you need
Nobody
it
ever
all.
mentioned sleep.
Yo, you need it all. You need it all to shoot. I
Shoot,
know.
you when Austin Rivers walked up there, when Austin Rivers came up there with all that, you know he was well rested.
Bruh, bruh, I ain't know Austin Rivers had bars like that, yo. Man, let me not ever be on Austin Rivers hit list. Let me stop. I'll cook Austin Rivers. Fuck. I'll cook
Maybe
Austin
you
Rivers,
get
man.
your.
Yeah. Now I'm playing Austin. Don't come at me. You probably never see this
Like
game.
fuck a contract. Where your stats at?
Man. Nah, shout out to Austin Rivers, man.
Yeah,
Checking
because
everybody.
there's more. It's like more people need to do that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Knight to Queen 3. I don't even know what that means. And I play chess.
I'll never know what the fuck that shit means.
Yeah, I don't know the lingo. I can play it. I'm not great at it, or not anymore anyways. I don't play it as much as I used to. But yeah, man. Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up.
All right.
Uh what's your partner shot?
My part in the shot is where the fuck did Philly go? Yeah. Did they get blown out in every single game in this series?
Yes, sir.
It was like what He gave up 144 points today. Yo, it's time to it's time to regroup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's time to regroup.
people saying they might deal in B.
I think that would be dumb, but whatever.
Dude can't stay healthy. And KG mentioned like, bro, like he probably like it seems like it's part of his game to go to the ground. And
Yeah,
Paul Pierce
because
is like,
he does hit the ground a lot.
yeah, and Paul Pierce is like, yeah, that can't. That's probably why he always hurt because he always going to the ground,
But you too big to be falling down that many
bruh.
fucking times.
Yeah, yeah. And people say he does it to protect his body, but I'm like, bruh, I just know that falling don't feel good.
I know. It's like it's not even just falling. It's like you're throwing yourself to the ground.
Yeah,
It's like, yo, you are not a suicide ball.
yeah.
Like, come on, yo. What, seven what?
7 foot, 7'1",
It's like 7 foot,
20, 280, I think.
and you think doing these soccer falls is really helping your ass out. It ain't.
Yeah, I don't know why he does that. He
Like,
don't. He
you're not
doesn't.
falling down in grass, you're falling down on hardwood floor.
Bruh, that's why I'm like, that just don't make sense.
It's like you need to get on a Bosu ball and learn balance. because because clearly it's like you gotta learn how to not throw yourself down on the ground to call a yeah to then the next time that shit happens, all of a sudden you break your hip,
Yeah,
you
he
out for the
had a
rest of
hip
the year.
injury.
This nigga, man.
Yeah.
And, and I wanted to get your opinion on this. Folks said that with Derrick Rose's injury when he tore his ACL, they said
Mhm.
the reason why if he tore his ACL, it was it dates all the way back to the way that he lands when he dunks because he's like they showed a whole bunch of power dunkers and all that, but when they land on both feet while he was always landing on one. And they said it may have
Mm.
weakened his knee enough for it because of the way no matter how he dunked it, he always landed on one foot.
Yeah, and I
And
think I think he was also a 2 foot jumper.
yeah, it was like 2 foot jumper landing on one foot. It
So
was
I can see why because he used the jump stop. Because I'm a two because I was somebody when I played basketball, I was a 2 foot jumper and I did the jump step a lot.
mm,
So, but I was just I don't know. I can't think of how I would land though. I mean, I ain't never been as explosive or as athletic as Derrick Rose, so that's another part of it too. Um, yeah, because Russell Westbrook, I think he can. I think he's both. He's one of those rare combinations of both, where he can do 1 foot or 2 foot.
mm,
But yeah, I don't think he lands on 1 foot very often because two of them most
okay.
explosive point guards of all time. So like, I don't know. I don't know. I can see how that would be an issue though. But also, like it's just that ligament work. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
doing those deep squats and things of that nature is just like some people just don't do that work. Actually, most people don't. So it's just like to strengthen those tendons and those ligaments. Especially how explosive as he was. And you remember I even mentioned this about Zion Williamson. I'm just like he's just too big he's too explosive for his size. Like he needed to play at 240, 230. And he was playing at 280 and he's constantly injured and now his body is too weakened to where he's
Mm,
gotten down to 230 and he's still getting hurt. So that's tough. That's tough.
yeah.
My parting shot is I love Pokemon. That's probably my favorite. franchise of anything. It's the only video game I really play now, which I'm actually about to start my game all over. Um, oh, so you just bragging out here?
Yeah. The the Pokemon pencil case.
Okay.
What?
So in lieu of my event that I'll tell on a future podcast, if I remember, in lieu of my event, and I was feeling down about the situation, and I was like, I want to do something that makes me feel good. So today, I bought some Pokemon cards. I haven't touched a Pokemon card in 22 years. No, 23 years. Last time I bought a pack of Pokemon cards, I was 15 years old. Bought a pack for myself, I should say. No, but let me pull back. The last time I bought Pokemon cards, Link was 6. So it's actually been 13 years. And that's because we were learning how to play the TCG. So I
Mm.
never played it before. The only one I played was the video game when you had it. So I bought himself and myself decks so we could play. But as far as like collecting the cards and anything like that, I haven't done that in since I was a teenager.
Shit, we had shoe boxes.
Yeah, so in the 4 packs that I purchased, apparently, so there's this new thing on Pokemon cards called illustration rares. It's supposed to be like some of the rarest cards you can get.
Mhm.
The first pack I opened had an illustration rare. Second pack I opened had an ultra rare, but it was a trainer card. Apparently, they have holographic trainer cards now.
Mhm.
Then the third pack I opened pissed me off because it had a holographic card and it was an energy. I don't know why they've wasted that. And so my goal is to complete the Pokedex. So I purchased a Pokemon binder that holds up to 1,800 cards from Amazon.
Mhm.
Because I think the next Pokemon game is supposed to be coming out next year. So I'm sure there's going to be cards for that. So the plan is just to buy a few packs every once in a while, get all the Pokemon, all 1,025, and then I'll probably move up to try to get like rarer editions because apparently there's like holographics of almost every card.
Mhm.
Um, they call them reverse hollows. So yeah, opened up some packs. It felt good. I felt like I was, 10 years old again. Um, and I've always loved Pokemon, and put a smile on my face. And of course, back in the day when you would not get a holographic, which apparently just getting a holographic card ain't sweet like that no more. For
Yeah,
I
because
didn't know I pulled like I was putting them. I got like a database thing, and I put some cards into the database, and like one holographics was worth 29 cents. Well, that used to be a guaranteed $5 back in the day.
mhm. Yo, like
But I'm not tripping off of how much it's worth though anymore or now. I'm still gonna track it just because I like tracking it. But
mhm.
I'm more like I just want to get the cards. My favorite Pokemon's Meowth for those people don't know. So after I get all 120 or 1,025 Pokemon, I'm gonna try to get every Meowth imaginable.
Shoot, I remember
So
when I got the special Meowth from the trading card game. Yeah, the trading card game. It was a special pack. I wish I could find it. Uh,
yeah, I need to hit Tim up because he was supposed to let me know if they can get into that storage unit and see if I have my poke because I remember my Pokemon collection was put in there, but like I said, it's been in a storage unit for so damn long. Them bitches probably rotted out by now, but I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. But anyways, that's it for us. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Thank you so much for tuning into the Between Brothers podcast. And keep continuing to give you more content, more laughs, more jokes. We love y'all. We'll see you next week. Wait, hold on. What you got?
That's the meow.
Yeah, yeah.
Cat punch.
See, I'm gonna try to get them all, yo. Try to get them all. But yeah,
Resistant to psychic. That's weird. All right, whatever.
all right, y'all. We'll see you next week.